students, I welcome you back to science class. I hope before starting the class, I hope all of you are fit and fine at home, and I hope all of you are following timetable which is given to you by the Guru. So today I start again our science class. We continue same chapter, synthetic fiber and plastic, which we are dealing with in our last class. Okay, so in the last class we have studied about some topics of this chapter, classically mainly synthetic fiber. What is synthetic fiber? Those fibers which are made by man. After that we have studied about synthetic fiber made from polymers. Polymers, what is polymers? Polymer, very small units of molecule, they combine together and they result into a large chain of molecule, that is called as polymer. Now after that we studied about some classification of polymer. Now what are those classification? These classification are, first of all, the very first classification was on the base of polymer, if you remember. So on the base of monomer, So on the basis of monomer, polymer is of two types, that is homopolymer and copolymer. Second one, we have studied about second classification, the classification on the basis of occurrence. So on the basis of occurrence, polymer is of two types, and what are that type? Natural polymer and synthetic polymer. Next classification, that classification of polymer on the basis of molecular forces present in between them. So on the basis of that, the polymer are classified into four ways. What are those four ways? Elastomer, second one fiber, third one thermoplastic, and the last one thermostatic. Is it clear? So I hope you remember all these things. After that, we studied about the advantage of synthetic fiber. Now what are those advantages? They are wrinkle resistance, they are insulator of heat and electricity, they are resistance to moth and chemicals, they are freeze resistance. Okay, so these are some of the advantages. They are tough, they are stronger, they are more durable, they are cheap. So these are some of the advantages of synthetic fiber. Next one, we move on to the disadvantage of synthetic fiber. Now the disadvantage of synthetic fiber, students, are that they absorb very less amount of moisture, they do not allow air to pass through them, then the very main of them, that they are non-biodegradable in nature, that means they causes a pollution. Is it clear to everyone? Now some more disadvantages are there, that they are not inflammable, they catch the fire very easily and they get damaged while idling. So this is all we have studied in the last class. So today we are going to study about the classification, about the types of synthetic fiber or some common synthetic fibers. So some synthetic fiber are. So we are going to study about some common types of synthetic fiber. Now what are those fibers? The very first we are going to start by rayon. Okay students? So rayon is the first fiber which is developed in the late 19th century. Late 19th century rayon is formed. Now rayon is formed when wood pulp means when you cut down the woods and you crush down the woods into the powder form, when wood pulp is mixed with chemicals, then it is result into the rayon fiber. Okay, now rayon fiber is known as semi-synthetic fiber. It is very important to notice that rayon is known as semi-synthetic fiber. Okay, understand and remember this also, that rayon is semi-synthetic. Semi means half synthetic. Okay, not fully synthetic fiber. Why? Because the raw material we obtain from the plant, it is not fully obtained from the chemicals. So that's why it is known as semi-synthetic fiber. Okay, now rayon is developed from the wood pulp. How it is obtained? Now rayon is obtained when you take the wood pulp. Inside the wood pulp, it contains a polymer called cellulose. oxide, which is an alkali, then it form a alkaline cellulose. Okay, students, and when this is treated with carbon disulfide chemical, then what will happen? It forms cellulose xanthate. It is clear, friends. Now, at last, when the cellulose xanthate is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, then what will happen? It will result into a fiber that is known as rayon. Now, why there is a need of developing the rayon fiber? Okay. So actually, what happened in that time? The price of silk is very much costly. Okay. So scientists want to develop a fiber which appears like silk, but it is not so much expensive as silk. Okay. So in this way, they have developed a fiber named rayon, which has almost all the characteristics resemble to the silk. Okay. So in this way, rayon is developed, and that's why rayon is also known as artificial silk. Okay. Now, students, we discuss next properties of rayon. Okay, properties of rayon. So, very first property is it absorbs less moisture. It do not absorb so much moisture as all the synthetic fiber does. Second property, it loses strength when wet, while gain on dry. So what means, students, that if you take a rayon fabric and put in the water and you try to tear the piece, it can tear easily, it loses the strength, but when it becomes dry again, it becomes hard again. Okay. Next property, it is soft and lustrous. What it means? It is soft and lustrous. Lustrous means shiny. So this fiber, rayon fiber, it shine and soft as compared to the silk, or similar to the silk, you can say. And the last property, it can be easily dyed. That means you can dye this type of fabric easily. Like you can change the color, like dye solution is there, and you can change it, and you dip rayon fabric in it, and they catch or absorb the color easily as compared to the other synthetic material or synthetic fabric. Okay. Now next topic, we move on to the uses of rayon. Where rayon is used. Okay. So very first uses of rayon is used to make fabric. It is used to make fabric like sarees. Next use of rayon is mixed with wool. Okay. Rayon is mixed with wool to make carpets. Okay. You might see in the market that there are some carpets. They resemble like silky texture, but they are cheap. Okay. So why they are cheap? Because in that instead of silk, they use other type of fiber, and that fiber is rayon. Okay. So these are some of the uses of rayon fiber. Now next fiber or next synthetic fiber we are going to move on, and that is nylon. Now nylon, remember students, it is a fully synthetic fiber. It is the first fully synthetic fiber which is developed in the 1935. Okay, it is developed by W.H. Carothers and K.H. Carothers. or you can say nylon fiber is developed by Carothers brothers in 1935. Now, where the name is right, nylon. So, students read carefully. NY stand for New York, and LON stand for London. So, it was assumed at that time that nylon fiber is developed somewhere either in New York or either in London or both simultaneously. Okay, so that's why it derived the name nylon fiber. Okay, now nylon fiber is obtained from the petrochemicals or petroleum product like coal, okay, petroleum, air, water. So it is obtained from them. Now nylon fiber is of two types, that is nylon 6 and nylon 6. Now students, this question that what is nylon 6 and nylon 6, what is the difference between them? This question will never come in your syllabus. But other than that, I will teach you that what is the difference between them. Okay. Now we are studying the nylon fiber, nylon 6. The difference between nylon 6 and nylon 6 is depending upon the monomer. Okay, so see it very carefully. Nylon 6 is a homopolymer. What it means? That it is made up of only one type of monomer, while nylon 6 see it carefully, nylon 6 it is an example of copolymer. If you remember it at the time also I told you, nylon 6 is example of copolymer. What it means that in this it have more than two or more types of monomer units are there. Now nylon 6 is made up of us. So see it very carefully how it is made up of. If we have okay, so what is this? It's a chemical. What its name? Hexamethylene diamine. Okay, so see it very carefully. So what I am trying to say, that nylon 6 is obtained from the monomer, and that monomer is hexamethylene diamine. Now hexa means 6, so 6 CH2 is methylene, so hexamethylene, di means 2, so 2 NH2 is amine, so hexamethylene diamine. So from this monomer we obtain the polymer that is known as nylon 6. Okay, clear students? Now what happen when if we want to develop or produce nylon 6? So for to develop nylon 6 we require two types of monomer. Now what are these monomer? The first is same, that is hexamethylene diamine. First one is same. This is hexamethylene diamine. We require this if it is added to a adipic acid. It is adipic acid. Okay students, when hexamethylene diamine monomer is added to another monomer that is known as adipic acid, then we obtain a polymer, and that polymer is known as nylon 6. Okay, so it is about the types of nylon. Nylon is generally obtained in these two varieties. Now after that we move on to the next topic of nylon, that is the properties. Properties of nylon. Okay students, now properties of nylon. First property is it is elastic and strong. Okay, so very first property of nylon is it is very very elastic and it is very very strong. Okay, so it is very very tough. Second property, it can be drawn due to this property. It can be easily drawn into a thin wire. Next property, it absorbs very less water. Okay students, so it absorbs very less amount of water, and that's why due to this property nylon fiber is can be dried very easily. Okay, they dry up very quickly. Third property, it is washable, they are easily washable. Fourth property, they are resistant to moth and chemical. And last, they are wrinkle resistant. Now these are some properties of nylon. First says it is elastic. That means if you stretch the fiber, it can regain its strength or it can regain its shape up to certain extent. Next, it is very very tough. This fiber is very very tough, and that's why this fiber has a vast number of uses. Next property, it absorbs very less amount of water, so it does not absorb water so much. So what happens? That's why due to this, they dry up very very quickly. They can be easily washed. They are resistant to moth and chemical. That means they do not have any effects of insects. They do not have any effects of chemicals onto them. And the last property, they are wrinkle resistant. That means they are crease resistant. If you try to fold them, they do not have any kind of creases onto them, okay, or mark onto them. Now next one or next topic under the heading of nylon is uses. Okay, so nylon is used, it is used in making ropes for parachute. It is used in making toothbrush. If you are seeing the toothbrush bristle, that means thin hair-like structure on a toothbrush, that is known as toothbrush bristle. So nylon is used to make rope for parachutes. It is also used in the manufacturing of toothbrush bristle. Now it is also used in the manufacturing of rackets. It is also used in the manufacturing of nets. Either fishing net or either badminton nets. All these nets are made from the fiber that is nylon. It is also used in making the manufacturing of safe for the boats. Okay students, so these are some of the uses of nylon which we generally see. Nowadays synthetic fiber has a very large number of advantages. So students, if you try to understand this chapter, so try to understand the property in a practical way. What are the properties and uses of this synthetic fiber? Because nowadays these synthetic fiber are under the consideration. Means nowadays scientists do research on these synthetic fiber a lot as compared to the natural fiber. Okay, because they are easily available, they are cheap also, and they have several other advantages. Like if you remember that fire brigades, they wear some specific type of suit, and that suit also made up of the synthetic fiber. So synthetic fiber has a vast number of advantage and a vast number of use, and that's why it's a hot topic for research also. Okay, so next topic, next type of synthetic fiber which we are going to do, that is known as polyester. Now students, what is polyester? Polyester is that type of fiber, okay, or synthetic fiber which is obtained from the polymer called ester. Now what is ester? Ester is sweet smelling compound. So if anybody asks you what is ester, ester are those substances which have some fragrance associated with it. Like if you smell or if you you try to smell the soap or any other material and you smell some kind of fragrance to it, why they have the fragrance? Because they have ester into it. So what is ester? Sweet smelling compounds. Sweet means good smelling compounds which are obtained when alcohol react with acid. Okay, students. Now polyester is also known as blended fiber. Why it is known as blended fiber? Because polyester they match up easily with the properties of other fabric like wool and cotton. Okay, they match up with the properties of wool and cotton. That's why they can be blended into it to make a new types of fibers. Now some example of polyester is terylene, terrycot, terrywool. So these are some examples of the polyester fiber. Now see here carefully, terrycot. Now terrycot is made up of terylene plus cotton. Here terrywool is obtained from the fiber terylene plus wool, and that's why it is known as blended fiber. Okay, now come to the next topic, properties of polyester. Okay, so properties of polyester. Okay, so polyester are soft, they are soft and elastic. That means they are very soft to touch, and they also regain its shape whenever the shape is changed. Okay, second one, they are warm to touch. Means when you touch this type of fabric which is made from the polyester, okay, they appears warm. Next, they absorb very less or no moisture. Okay, so they do not absorb the sweat, they do not absorb the water easily. Next properties is that they are resistant to chemicals and water. So these are, students, these are some of the properties of the polyester fiber. Okay, now next we are going to study about the uses of this polyester fiber. Now the uses of polyester fiber. So polyester fiber use, very common use. So if you have seen the plastic bottle in which you drink the water, so at the back you will see PET written. Okay, PET. That what is this PET? Polyethylene terephthalate. Okay, so PET is an example of polyester which is used to make bottles. Okay, next one, it is used to make sail for boat. If you see on the boat, okay, on the boat they use a large fabric, okay, which help the boat to move in a particular direction. So that's why for that we use the polyester fabric. Okay, now next one, polyester is used in making different types of material, like it is used in making conveyor belt, conveyor belt. Now, what is conveyor belt, students? Students, if you see in the industries, you might find some type of belt. Like suppose these are two wheels are there which are moving. Okay, so on this a belt is connected on which the substance move from one way or from one part of the industry to the another part of the industry. So this is belt which carries some material on it. So this is known as conveyor belt. So polyester are used to make the conveyor belt which can be used to carry some items from one place to another place in any industry or in any factory. Is it clear, students? Now next use, that polyester is also used to make suits. It is also used to make suits and jackets. Okay, polyester fabric is used to make different types of suit and different type of jackets when it is mixed with a cotton fiber. Okay, students. So these are some of the properties and uses of the polyester fabric or polyester fiber. Next, we are going to study about next type of fiber, that is known as acrylic fiber. Okay, so acrylic fiber is that fiber which have the similar properties as a wool. Okay, so what are those properties? Like wool has the texture, so acrylic also has the same texture. Wool is warm to touch, acrylic is also warm to touch. So acrylic, you can say it is an artificial wool which resemble all the properties of wool. So fourth type of synthetic fiber is acrylic. Now some example of the acrylic fiber is cashmere. So these are some examples of the acrylic fiber. Okay, so properties of acrylic fiber is they are, first property, they are washable. Okay, they can be easily washed in the washing machine. Second property, they absorb less moisture, so can be easily dried. Okay, students. Next property, they are resistant to moth and chemicals. So students, you will find that some properties will resemble in each and every synthetic fiber. Okay, and last one is they are soft and warm. Okay, they are soft and warm in nature. Now these are some of the properties of the acrylic fiber. Now depending on that, the use of acrylic fiber, as I told you that it resembles in all the way with the wool. Okay, so the uses of acrylic fiber is it is used to make shawls, it is used to make blankets, it is used to make sweaters. So these are some of the properties of the acrylic fiber. Now last type of fiber which we are going to study today, that is spandex. Spandex fiber. So spandex fiber is developed in somewhere like 1965, and this fiber is also known as lycra. Okay, so the properties and very main advantages of the properties of spandex or lycra is they are super elastic. That means their shape can be changed twice, thrice or 4 times as their original shape. Okay, so you might have seen the advertisement where the Salman Khan comes with the underwear and he stretch it, that it can be easily wear by the sumo also. So at that place spandex is used. So spandex is highly elastic. That means they can be stretched up to a large extent and they can regain its shape also. So next property is they have strong force. Okay, so they have strong force between their molecules. Now uses of spandex Use of spandex is they are used to make swimsuit. They are used to make undergarments. Okay, so these are some of the uses of the spandex. Okay, students. So some other uses of the spandex can be, it is also used to make the cap, it is also used to make the t-shirts. So these are some of the uses of the these fibers. Okay, students. So students, you don't need to learn all the properties or all the uses. So if you can learn 2-3 properties, and similarly you can learn 2-3 uses, that will be enough for you. And similarly we have studied about advantage and disadvantage of synthetic fiber. Okay, so you don't need to learn about 6-7 points. You need to learn about whatever you understand. If you have understand 3-4 points, that will be enough for you. So students, I hope today lecture will be very much beneficial for you. I hope you utilize this lecture to understand all the points which we have studied here. If you have any doubts, any query, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.